What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. And today we're doing a career simulation for Tua Tagovailoa, rookie quarterback out of Alabama. He's been pretty good for the Dolphins so far. Nothing exceptional, but 3 starts, 3 wins. People are going to point to that. And while I don't believe that wins are necessarily a QB stat, he has played fairly well to keep them in those games and to win a lot of these games. Even though the defense has played well, you need a lot of other guys to perform. It isn't just the quarterback, right? There are 10 other guys on offense who start, and of course, there are other guys that rotate in. You need all those guys to be pretty good. And then on defense, you got a lot of guys that rotate in. The most of, offense or defense. Defense has a ton of different guys coming in and out, different personnel changes with linebackers, more specifically the defensive line, whether they're bringing multiple defensive backs on the field. You need a lot. However, if you want to attribute quarterback wins to the quarterback or wins to the quarterback, Tua's been 3-0, never lost with the Dolphins, right? And I think the Dolphins have played up to their expectation. Brian Flores is one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's incredible. And the Dolphins don't really have a great roster, but he makes them play just so well. And they've exceeded expectations, actually. Tua, he doesn't have unbelievable numbers, right? But he has been solid overall. He hasn't done anything insane in these games. Has only thrown for over 200 yards in a game once, but 5 touchdowns, no picks in 4 games, really in 3 games, 3 starts. We can't really take 2 attempts at the very end of the Jets game. But Tua's been quite solid overall. If you look at his adjusted yards per attempt, it's at an 8, which is actually very solid. If you look at some of the top quarterbacks in the league, at the very, very top for adjusted yards per attempt, like Mahomes is at 9.6. If you look at Russell Wilson, who up until recently has played up to an MVP level, he's still been good, don't get me wrong, but the turnovers are kind of skyrocketing with him as of late. But his adjusted yards per attempt is 8.7. If you look at Aaron Rodgers, who is, playing back to an MVP level as we've seen him play in years past, his adjusted yards per attempt is 9.4, which is very, very, very good, like at the top of the league. And Tua really isn't that far behind. I think another guy we could take a look at is Josh Allen, who, had played up to an MVP level for some time. His adjusted yards per attempt is 8.2, which is right in the same neighborhood as Tua, right? So it's only 3 games. Don't get me wrong. We're not going to take things and blow them completely out of proportion, but Tua has played quite well in a limited sample size. I think he should get more attention. He's played up there with the other top QBs in the draft, even though Burrow and Herbert both have a bigger sample size. I understand that. But we're going to take over Tua and see how his career goes. We're not going to take him over, actually. We're going to basically not have any role in this and just see what he does year in and year out. We're just tracking his progress, seeing if he eventually, ends up being a Hall of Fame caliber player. I'm not making any moves for the Dolphins. CPU is going to handle signings, re-signings, trades, even though they're not going to trade anybody, and drafting guys. So it should be really interesting to see if Tua stays on the Dolphins his entire career or goes somewhere else. If you guys are new here, want to see more career simulations, make sure to tell me who I should do a video on next in the comment section below. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later, although I hope you don't. It would really hurt me. But I hope you subscribe. All football all the time over here. And of course, if you're interested in any other content, or my merch, it's Christmas time. Skip the Combine, Vanilla Vic. All those are in the description. I'll probably be showcasing that more in a future video. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this Tua career simulation. It's week 11. It's where we are in real life. Tua has yet to play this game, but it should be a lot of fun to see what he does for the rest of the season. And if he has a shot to win AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. But there is potential that it does happen. So let's go ahead and simulate to the playoffs. See what Tua does in his complete stat line for 2020. Well, that's wild. We missed the playoffs. After a 6-3 start, the team finishes 8-8. That's disappointing. Now, you can't look at Tua's overall rankings because, of course, he split time with Ryan Fitzpatrick. But Tua ended up having more yards on fewer attempts. Or on fewer completions, more attempts. However, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions. Completion percentage went down a little bit. But Tua overall was quite solid as a passer. And then rushing, didn't do anything spectacular. But it's going to be interesting to see next year where he's actually the full-time starter as Russell Wilson wins MVP. Clearly not going to see anybody in there for MVP. But AFC Offensive Player of the Year, no Dolphins. However, for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I expect Tua to be in here somewhere, and he is number 5. And of course, he only started at this point about half a season. So Tua Tagovailoa finishing inside the top 5 is actually quite good. We knew he wasn't going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He just didn't play enough. Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow would have accumulated more stats up to that point. But what is Tua's development? Tell me superstar, please. Tell me superstar. It's only star. I think that will go up to superstar at some point during this. I wish that were superstar. I think it probably should be. As, I mean, this was such a talented quarterback class. But we will simulate to the offseason and see if that development trait goes up. And then, of course, simulate through the offseason. Usually on the rebuilds in Jags franchise, if you guys watch those other series on the channel. Like, we're already looking forward to the offseason. Always looking forward to it. Not this time around, though, as this is solely focused on what Tua Tagovailoa can do over the course of his career. Doesn't get any development trait increase. So we will just see what happens in season number 2 for Tua. Season number 2. Hated that one. I almost think that maybe I should have used a realistic draft class for this, but I didn't. What did the Dolphins do? Some interesting moves. Oh my. Brought in Phillip Lindsay to be a new starting running back here. Juju Smith-Schuster signed a contract to go down to Miami and team up with Tua. They also drafted a rookie receiver, Larry Flemings. A little slow. He's like a slot guy. How tall is he? 6'2". He's like a big slot. Doesn't really offer a ton. No changes really in the offensive line. Solomon Kinley probably could be a higher overall. He probably should be in the 70s in my opinion. And then defensively, I can't notice a whole ton of changes here. Other than they drafted a rookie, James Daniels. Not to be confused with the left guard, James Daniels, former Iowa Hawkeye. I believe he played center there. But this is James Daniels, the left end for the Dolphins. Looks to be a decent 3-4 defensive end, a star better development. Also, they drafted a star better development corner, Carlos McMichael. 75 overall. They had 2 first-round picks. Seems like they hit on both of them. Also brought in Takk McKinley. DeAndre Walker in there. All right. The Dolphins might be actually putting pieces around Tua and putting him in a position to succeed. We'll have to see what he does in this first season as the full-time starter. We're going to simulate straight to the playoffs. See what this Dolphins team can do. Ooh, playoff team, 9-7 in Tua's first full year as a starter. Tied with the Bills for the division lead, and Tua wasn't overly impressive, although that's a solid year. Only 10 interceptions to 30 touchdowns, threw for 3,600 yards. These aren't unreal numbers overall, but he was definitely, again, solid, which you'll take. Yards per attempt jumped up almost to 8, and that's not even adjusted yards per attempt. That's not really a stat in this game. But Tua also, as a rusher, had 259 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Didn't fumble the ball, broke a couple tackles as well. But okay, Tua. Any stud receivers? Jakeem Grant really dominated in the slot. 69 catches, nice. Almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. But, I mean, that rookie receiver they drafted, Larry Flemings, only 3 catches for 20 yards. I wouldn't be opposed to changing the scheme at some point as Russell Wilson wins MVP. And I think I probably will. See if we can get him to reach his full potential. Offensive Player of the Year, Cam Newton. That happens like every time. Tua finishes at 8. Defensive Player of the Year, I don't really care about. Offensive Rookie of the Year is kind of irrelevant because we're really just focused on Tua and the guys around him as well. And there really shouldn't be anyone to upgrade. That's super important. But we will do that and see if Tua can beat the Bills here in the wild card. Let's go Dolphins. No, 28-7. The Bills smashed this Dolphins team. But that is it for season number 2. As we will jump into the 3rd season. It'll be interesting again to see what the CPU does to bring in guys around Tua. And also another thing we're going to have to closely monitor is a contract situation. Because while he's still going to be under contract for the next 2 years, probably even 3, as I assume the CPU is going to pick up his 5th-year option being a first-round pick, is Tua going to be a Dolphin the entire time? We shall see. So it's season 3 now. Season 2 for Tua as a starter. but we're just going to start calling it season 3. Still has not been upgraded in his development trait. It needs to be a little bit better, but is approaching an 80 overall. And this is interesting. CPU has a guy, Bone, down here. No relation to Ben Bones, but Matthias Bone. They have a receiver in here, Sidney Lane, who got star development. Looks okay. And then Larry Flemings is quietly going up in overall. Defensively, Daniels only has star development. Byron Jones went up to superstar. McMichael is star. Have a couple rookies. Actually, it's only the one. Jimmy Skillen out of Texas. Hook 'em horns. Look, gotta love that. Just bang my elbow. Sick. 73 overall middle linebacker. Star, better development. Should be a really good player. I think this will be the rebuild where I try out Tampa Bay playbook and see just how good it is. See guys just crush it. I mean, the offensive scheme should matter. It's really only about the playbook. But we're not going to do Miami there. I think we're just going to try out Tampa Bay. Season 3 here. We got 2022. See you for the playoffs. Did not make the playoffs this year. Went 8-8. Look at the AFC East. 9-7 won the division. 3 other teams went 8-8. Numbers are very similar to last year. Nothing spectacular. Rushing, Philip Lindsay was all right. And then receiving, Larry Flemings coming on strong, but a lot of ball distribution going on. Like, no one really had crazy numbers. Flemings definitely had the best year, but only 54 catches. However, made a lot out of those catches, averaging 15 yards per reception. I don't know what to do yet about playbooks. We're going to continue to see what Tampa Bay can do as Mahomes wins MVP. Patriots playbook is always quite good. I might try that as well, but there's Tom Brady, but he is a superstar X Factor. Maybe I really will give Patriots playbook a good go. Offensive player of the year for the AFC, no Tua. 2023 now. I think I am going to try out New England playbook, and man, this team just keeps bringing in running backs. David Montgomery signed. They drafted another one, Daniel Spencer out of Michigan. He is pretty good, actually. Very well balanced, but we don't need him. Michael Gallup's on the team now. I mean, the CPU is really building offense. Lane and Flemings, I mean, very interesting moves. Weston Richburg got signed. I like putting weapons around, too. I really can't complain there. As Skillen was superstar X Factor. Oh, okay. They moved him to left outside linebacker. I didn't even know the CPU could do that. Kyle Van Noy is down. Interesting. Brought in Tompkins, rookie. 2-year guy. George Tompkins. 88 power moves. Okay. But wow. All right. Mike Edwards in there as well. They're really putting a focus on building the offense. 3 pretty capable running backs. 3 or 4 capable receivers, and another one has star development. They are taking a very unique approach, and we'll see if that results in success for Tua here in 2023. So another year of not making the playoffs, 7-9. That feels like Dolphins football, to be honest. And the interceptions went up a ton this year, even though the yards barely went up, touchdowns barely went up, interceptions skyrocketed. Rushing, Philip Lindsay was bad. I'm still trying to figure out the playbooks. I always am. That's why I do have to experiment and test some of these out. And I'm going to stick with New England for a while because Cam Newton's always winning MVP at like a 78 overall. When is that going to happen for me in one of these? Devontae Parker, 11 touchdowns, led the team. Although, it feels like consistently the only playbook that you can be successful in on offense is Tennessee, and then putting a really good receiver in the slot. And there's Cam Newton. Does Cam Newton just win MVP no matter what team he's on? This is what I'm talking about. 78 overall Cam Newton wins MVP with the Lions. What is it about Cam Newton? I'm starting to think maybe it isn't even the playbook. It's just Cam Newton is broken. Jacoby Brissett with the Steelers at a 72 overall. What is happening? I don't know. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Justin Herbert. No Dolphins in there. I got to figure this out. Should I try Steelers? What is going on? Oh, so Tua actually signed a massive contract extension. Oh my goodness. 6 years, $161 million. Look at Tua. Only an 84 overall at 26. We need to get that up a little bit faster. But this is a huge contract. He'll be in Miami at least until 2027. Oh my goodness. We need Tua to just take the next step. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. Let's see. Has he made the Pro Bowl? Has he done anything other than just be decent so far? Nope. Just get drafted. That's his only award. Maybe this year that will change. I'm going to try out New England again. If it doesn't work this year, I am trying something else out. Maybe it was the move. 11-5 this year. Made the wild card, but won the division as it continues to be a strong division. And Tua getting his numbers up, still 30 touchdowns, and he loves throwing 19 interceptions. However, over 4,000 yards, 4,361 to be exact. We had a better running attack here with David Montgomery, average over 4 yards per carry. I'm sure he'd love to do that and get out of Chicago. And then receiving, 2 receivers over 1,000 yards. One of them was a tight end in Mike Gesicki, who's been great in real life. Devontae Parker had 9 touchdowns, which led the team. Michael Gallup was all right. We got a decent group of receivers here, and even Mike Gesicki, I think, really exemplifies what a mismatch can really do for an offense. 6'6", 250, can run really well. This could be a really dynamic offense. We'll check out yearly awards. Tua might be in the conversation as Deshaun Watson wins MVP. Daniel Jones in there with the Giants at 3. It's another playbook I was considering. That's pretty good usually. Packers went 12-4, and Tua is not in the conversation. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Deshaun Watson, and Tua not in the conversation either. What is going on? 19 picks. I think that's what's going on. But we'll see if we can get a playoff win. First playoff win of Tua's career here in 2024. I sure hope so. Beat the Steelers, please. And we would not. 31-14 is the final. That is brutal. But we press on. Got to start the next season, 2025. The team really hasn't improved all that much. But Juju's up to a 93. That's something else. He's going to start to regress here in a bit, which is unfortunate. But Tua is at an 86 overall. 90 throw power, 89 deep accuracy, 91 medium, 93 short. Hopefully the interceptions start to go down. Tua can be really, really good. Just got to continue to develop him. He's got Michael Gallup. He's got another young receiver out here, Gerald Proctor. Have we seen him before? Maybe. I don't even know. Mike Gesicki's up near a 90 overall. This offense is looking great. And then defensively, random star dev guy down here. Jerome Baker's moved up to superstar. Skillen is down from superstar X Factor to star. Yikes. So hate to see that. But we'll see if Tua can finally figure it out, take the next step, get in the MVP conversation. It is doable. He's got weapons around him. Let's see what they're actually capable of. Did not make the playoffs. 9-7. Tied with the Bills, but just did not make it. Tua, 3,875 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 picks. It's not where we needed to be. David Montgomery was solid overall. And then receiving, Juju was still pretty good, although did not eclipse 1,000 yards. Gesicki, same deal. And I think this is the time where I transition back to Tennessee playbook. Want to start seeing some explosive numbers from Tua. And that's just the way. Look at Cam Newton, second in MVP with Tennessee, 73 overall. Stop. I hate it. Tua's not in there. What about for Offensive Player of the Year? Nope. Tennessee playbook it is. It's the only one that really generates explosive numbers as far as I can tell. I'm sure you guys are going to know ones as well. But that's the one for me that works. So I'm moving to it. I mean, I'm going to change to Tennessee, and you're going to see the numbers just jump up a ton. It's just what happens. Tennessee put a good receiver in the slot. They're going to do 1,500 yards. It's just what's going to happen. Tua is up to an 88 overall. I'll be putting Juju Smith-Schuster in the slot. We need to get 90-plus deep accuracy. That would be nice. And I guess they kind of stopped building up the offensive line. What's going on at left tackle, left guard? Even right tackle. I mean, it's not great. Those guys are going to develop at least. Skillen back up to superstar at least. Byron Jones down to star. Mike Edwards up to star. But we need to get an offensive line for Tua. I think that might help out a little bit. But these numbers about to jump up. I promise you that. So in the wild card, did not make the playoffs. Went 6-10 this time, so we got much worse. And the numbers are still the same. It's the same like every year for him. It's always about 3,700 yards, about 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. He is up over 90 deep accuracy. Love to see that. 90 throw power. But he's 29 now, and he just has not been playing at an elite level. These are good numbers, but it's not elite caliber, which is where we want to see Tua. We want to see him be one of the best QBs in the NFL. Might take another year, as Alex Lawrence, killing with the Saints, wins MVP. Young guy, already up to a 92 overall, has already eclipsed Tua. Look at Clinton Bennett with the Jets up to a 90. Wild. AFC Offense Player of the Year is Clinton Bennett. Tua finally gets back inside the top 10 at number 8. Something tells me that if I was not the Dolphins, and I was just a random other team, and we were watching Tua from afar, it'd be a different story, and this team would be dominating. However, unfortunately, that's not the case, as this team just can't really seem to even make the playoffs, much less win a Super Bowl. This is like, it's not quite Dan Marino's situation in Miami, because at least he was, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he was playing, if not the best. Hasn't been the case so far for Tua. He just cannot reach that top level, upper echelon. Maybe that'll change this year. Who knows? We will find out. What is his contract situation still? I think it expires in what, 2027? So yeah, he has 2 years remaining. He's going to earn, you know, over like 65 mil during that time. This could be the year he finally takes a big jump. We've been saying it. Let's see if it's actually true this time. Look at the CPU. Drafting Tyler Carruthers here. Looks like a monster. Not to be confused with Ray Carruthers. Wait, no, that was Ray Caruth. The Panthers receiver that murdered people? Or only person, maybe? Yeah, not a nice guy. That guy was a jerk. But Tyler Carruthers hopefully doesn't murder anybody. Unless it's on the field. We're going to move on. Advance to the playoffs. Show me something, Tua. Please. Go off. Another year not making the playoffs. 8-8. I mean, that is the Dolphins. But Tua actually did take a step up. Yards went up. He eclipsed 4,000. The touchdowns went up while the interceptions did not. 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Very good year. Completion percentage is a bit low. But maybe this is finally the year he starts playing crazy well. And that's maybe partly due to Terrence Bartell. Random fifth-year guy out of Texas Tech. 80 overall. Doesn't really do anything well. Spectacular catch, actually. That's what he does well. He catches touchdowns. Had 16 of them on 1,300 yards. Gesicki went over 1,000, had 10 touchdowns. Great year. Juju Smith-Schuster was okay. Michael Gallup was decent. And Terrence Bartell was in the slot. I would almost bet anything on that. And that's why his numbers were as good as they were. We're at 83 overall now. Still just, really just can't make the playoffs. Was Bartell in the slot? Yeah, he sure was. He sure was. Not really a surprise. That's just what happens in Tennessee playbook. But it's the only one where I can actually get the quarterbacks to play well. Like the way you'd expect. As this Packers QB is also going off. Dylan Durant. Tua finishes inside the top 4 for MVP. Love that. And then for AFC Offense Player of the Year, also finishes at number 4. I think Tua's finally coming alive. This is what we all expected. And it's 2027. Tua is 30 years old, but he's finally a 90 overall. His accuracy is great. Did he sign a new contract? 1 year remaining, It's a 1-year deal for 2028. Let's see what Tua can do as we advance to the next season. So Tua, he is in the last year of his deal. This should be an interesting one. Tua, you got to show me something here. You got to show me something. I'm going to do tight end training boost, punter training boost. I don't want to do any type of QB anything like free agency influence or re-sign influence. I don't want the CPU to definitely re-sign Tua. We're just going to see what they do naturally. And I think he's probably going to be a Dolphin his entire career in this Madden 21 simulation. But maybe not. It happens for some other QBs. Aaron Rodgers, we've seen go other places. Tom Brady, we've seen go other places. Maybe Tua will be the same thing. He'd be one of the top QBs hitting free agency, that's for sure. We've seen Patrick Mahomes in free agency before. But what happens this time? Well, we're not going to make the playoffs. 8-8 again. This is the most Dolphins video of all time. Tua, over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. It's not bad. It's just not, unreal. We want unreal numbers. Juju led the team, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, 88 catches. Addison Hodges had a really, really good year, had 9 touchdowns as well. 4th-year guy out of Idaho State. He was probably in the slot if Juju wasn't. But maybe Juju. I don't know. It's probably him. Darrell Verdon of the Titans wins MVP. He's a 91 overall. And Tua finishes at number 9. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Deshaun Watson. Tua finishes at number 7. And that's okay. I mean, with these career sims, they're not always going to be the best quarterback of all time. If you watch the Justin Herbert career sim video, he was trending towards one of the best QBs of all time. And they all can't be. And I guess, unfortunately, that might be the case with Tua here, as I'm not sure he's really ever going to be a top 2 or 3 QB in the league here. It's just not going to happen in Madden 21. They're not letting me. 2029 now. Did Tua sign a massive contract extension? Wasn't necessarily massive, but he did sign an extension. He is under contract in Miami until 2031. It's going to be a 4-year deal worth $125 million. However, Tua finally has gone up to superstar development. He finally has. I don't think... Is he regressing at all? Ooh, he is a little bit. That's not good. He's got inside Deadeye and closer. Can I give him something else? Nah, that feels like it could be okay. Maybe I'll give him pocket Deadeye as well. I'm not sure if those are even going to come into play in simulation, but I'm giving it to him anyway. We'll see what happens. 2029, Tua's going to be Miami for a long time. I think he'll probably finish his career here, especially now that he's superstar development, which will turn his regression down a little bit. But can he progress anymore? He might have reached his peak. It might be downhill from here. Didn't make the playoffs. Finished 8-8. Tua threw for 4,388 yards, 25 touchdowns, which is just not a lot, and then 14 interceptions. It's just not a great year. It's just not anything crazy. It's okay. It's just not great. There's no running game at all. And then receiving, Juju Smith-Schuster, great year. Random guy in the slot, Earl Hightower. At least he's younger. He'll be able to develop a little bit. Has no deep route running. Maybe it's partly due to the weapons. There's just no stud that we can really lean on. Tua misses out on the MVP. And then for Offensive Player of the Year, also does not even get any votes. Doesn't finish in top 10. This is brutal. I mean, this is worse than the Herbert video. Just not making the playoffs at all. We've made it, what, 3 times? And it's 2029 heading into 2030? It's tough for Dolphins fans right now. This is no bueno. It's not ideal. 2030 now. It's disappointing, man. I wanted the world for Tua, and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Zay Faulkner, normal development, is an 86 overall. That's so odd to see. Juju's down to an 80. That's not great. We got Hightower in the slot. Maybe he'll be something awesome. Tua is a 90 overall. Superstar dev. He's 32 years old now. And he is regressing a little bit. Are they okay? Dude, these people above me are ridiculous. The team drafted a QB a couple years ago, Corin Young. Definitely not going to play him. Mike Gesicki is going to be down to a 79. CPU is going to upgrade him. But man, this has just been disappointing. We never really have gotten anything going with Tua. It's heartbreaking. Another year of not making the playoffs. Finished at, you guessed it, 8-8. 32nd best offense in the league. This never happens. This is brutal. I mean, Tua threw 21 touchdowns. What are these numbers? This is so bad. Keyshawn Christmas. This is a terrible Christmas gift. Earl Hightower just misses out on 1,000 yards. This is so bad. Tua's just been like so mediocre. And I hate to see that because I have such high hopes for him. But sheesh. I'm going to try another playbook change. Tennessee's not doing it for me right now. 2031 now. Check out salaries here. Tua, final year of his deal. It was a 4-year, $125 million contract. I'm sure that's going to be extended a few years. But it is 2031, man. Gone 10 years. Tua is down to an 89 overall. 33 at this point. And regression's hitting my guy a little bit. He's getting a little bit worse. Still pretty good. Still good. And I'm trying out Green Bay's playbook. It'll be interesting to see how this plays. Josh Uche has superstar X Factor. My goodness, he's 32 now. Which I guess isn't a surprise, but just weird to see, you know, Josh Uche being 32. He's a rookie in real life. But, you know, so is Tua, and he's 33 now. That's how aging works. If you guys need me to explain anything else to you, I'd be happy to. We're going to simulate 2031 and go 8-8 again, I'm sure. New playbook, who knows? Maybe we'll go 7-9. That'll be fun. Didn't make the playoffs. Show me 7-9. 6-10. Close. Tua, only 25 touchdowns, 14 picks, almost 4,000 yards. These aren't terrible seasons. They're just like so lackluster. It's barely even worth mentioning. Zay Faulkner put up some pretty good numbers. Rushing. No rushing attack at all. I'd be shocked if Tua gets any votes in here. None for MVP. And none for Offensive Player of the Year. Again, it's not shocking. If you go ahead and take a look at Tua and really, really look at it. He's 34 years old. He's had a pretty good career. He's in the final year of his deal. And he's never made a Pro Bowl. He's never won Offensive Player of the Year, MVP. I know we're going up there, but I mean, he's thrown for more than 30 touchdowns. And not 30, more than 30 twice. From 2020 to 2031. It's just sad, man. Just sad. Maybe 2032 will have something different in store. I say sarcastically. It's just not going to happen. Okay, 2032. Final year of Tua's contract. Did they bring in some guys that can help us win? No! They brought in Josh Allen. Tua is off the Dolphins. My goodness. Where in the world is Tua Tagovailoa? That'll be a fun question to answer. And maybe he'll be more successful on the team. I hope so. As this team now has Josh Allen. Where is Tua? This is actually fun. The first time we've seen this happen. Granted, we've only done 2 of these career simulations. But Tua Tagovailoa. No, he's on the Cowboys. 34-year-old Tua went to the Dallas Cowboys. My goodness. He's down to an 86 overall. Throw power is taking a dip. Medium accuracy, most notably, has gone down a lot. But Tua is now in Dallas. That is wild. As a Giants fan, not a huge fan of looking at this. But man, Tua is going to Dallas. He's probably going to win a Super Bowl there, honestly, with the way the Cowboys do in sim. Tua's going to dominate now. So I'm not going to jump off the Dolphins. I'm going to stay right here, except we are going to monitor what the Cowboys do. It'd be a lot easier if we were the Cowboys, but I want to test my theory that Tua was only not great because it was a user-controlled team. I want to see what happens now that he goes to Dallas. So this team actually finally made the playoffs with, shockingly, an 8-8 record. Playoff bracket does feature the Cowboys. They are the 3 seed. And let's see what Tua did as a member of the Cowboys. So 3,775 yards. That's just what he's going to do every year. 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. We've seen these numbers so many times. CeeDee Lamb, he crushed it with him. I think that's probably a big reason why. CeeDee's an 89 overall still. He is quite good. And Tua, I mean, I want to say he's finally blossoming. He's finally on a team that's winning. Does he finish? He does finish in the top 10 for MVP at number 10. NFC now, Offensive Player of the Year. Tua at number 7. What about Best Quarterback? Number 7 as well. Justin Tucker. Oh, he's a quarterback now. Oh, that's fun. Legendary Texas Longhorn kicker. Also played on the Ravens a bit. Justin Tucker now plays quarterback for the Panthers and is a beast. His true potential fully realized as this team actually continued to win. Did the Cowboys, though? No. The Bucks knock him off 28-24. And let's see what Tua's contract was to join the Cowboys. That's going to be an interesting one. I always say interesting. He's at an 87 overall. I think he actually went up, but that's going to regress. He's going to go down. But what is your contract? 35-year-old Tua. First year in Dallas. Look at his passer rating, up near 100. That was the best passer rating since 2025. And the 3rd best passer rating of his entire career. My goodness. Maybe Tua likes it in Dallas. Contract, 1 year remaining. Well, that was this year, was it not? Is he going to be a free agent? Tua is now 35, down to an 84 overall. Did he sign a contract extension and stay in Dallas? Well, they have it still listed as 2033, so I guess he's under contract next year. But we had the same thing where Tua was listed under contract in Miami until 2032, or in 2032, and then he was on Dallas. He went to the Cowboys. So I'm not even sure whether to believe that or not. But maybe the Dolphins cut him, although I find that highly unlikely. I don't know how he ended up with Cowboys. We'll check out roster and see if Tua is indeed on the Dallas Cowboys. And he is not. Tua is gone, spent a year in Dallas, and now has signed with the Baltimore Ravens. The classic team that would sign an old quarterback like Tua. Of course, we remember like Joe Flacco being there forever and now Lamar Jackson. But before that, I mean, the Ravens signed so many different QBs to come play for them. Like Steve Berline was a Raven for a little while. Vinny Testaverde, Steve McNair. I could go on. Like there are a bunch of options. You can go year in year or year in year out. And the Ravens just really couldn't find their true QB after Steve McNair. But let's go like 2001 Ravens. I think, was Vinny Testaverde on that team? Maybe not. Who is our QB? Oh my goodness. Elvis Grbac. That's right. Randall Cunningham was on the roster. Actually started 2 games for them in 2001. But their starting QB was Elvis Grbac. Oh, man. So I didn't mention Kyle Bowler because they drafted him. Jim Harbaugh was there for a little bit. Tony Banks. Those are really all the relevant ones. But yeah. Very, very interesting. As, again, everything's interesting to me. That's the only word I ever say. But Tua is now in Baltimore. This is so crazy. 35-year-old Tua going to lead the Ravens to the promised land. He's back in the AFC. direct competition with the Dolphins. There are only so many AFC playoff spots, even though, of course, it's not in the division. We'll see what he does. And we actually beat the Ravens in Week 17, as this team went 9-7, missed the playoffs. But what did Tua do? As we have a new quarterback, Joey Andrews, and he's crushing everything. These were better numbers than what we saw with Tua in 10 years. Some Joey schmoey Joe Andrews comes in. But Tua, not a great year in Baltimore. About 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 17 picks. Not spectacular. He's still sitting at a pretty good overall, 85 overall. Superstar dev. Throw power's going down a bit. Accuracy's going down a bit. Just not the same quarterback that he once was. I wonder if as Lamar Jackson's with the Broncos now, I wonder if the Ravens made the playoffs. We're not going to see Tua here for Offensive Player of the Year. I would actually be quite shocked to even see him in Best QB. And I don't see any Ravens in there. Tua not even in the top 10 for the AFC. And think about it. There are 16 AFC teams. And he wasn't even in the... Well, actually, is that... Hold on. Let me not speak. Did it change from just AFC? Is that just best quarterback in general? That might be best QB in general. No, it's AFC. These are all AFC teams. So, out of 16 total quarterbacks in the AFC, Tua was ranked from 11 to 16. No. Ravens didn't even make the playoffs. That is a yikes from me. As we head into... Well, we have to go past the next offseason. It might be retirement time for Tua. He's still pretty good overall, though, so I anticipate that he hangs around. But, man, he's had a... It hasn't been a bad career. He's had, like, a Carson Palmer type career. See if he's in here for retirements. Lamar Jackson retires after 16 years. Let's see the AFC North. No Tua. So Tua's going to stick around. The question now becomes, will he stay in Baltimore, or is Tua going to go to even another team? So what do you guys think? Is Tua... He's back in Miami! No way! I was just about to go find the team. I was going to say, is he still on the Ravens? No! Tua has come back home. Tua is back in Miami. Unbelievable. And he's going to start over Joey Andrews. 36-year-old Tua is back. I mean, you better like the video for that. Subscribe, whatever. That is unbelievable. Didn't do anything. I thought about that in my head. I'm like, I wonder if there's a chance the team would bring him back. But after moving on from Josh Allen, Joey Andrews not developing and being the guy, they bring back Tua for maybe one final run. Oh my goodness. Do you believe in miracles? Tua Tagovailoa back with the Dolphins. We never accomplished anything here, but he's back. And we didn't make the playoffs. We went 6-9-1. Nice. Tua, though, passed for over 4,000 yards. 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. Maybe he's doing something now that he's 37. Down to an 82 overall. Lost superstar development. He's about to regress big time this year. However, he maybe had some votes here for MVP. No. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Yes. Tua at number 7. And look at Darrell Verdon. 99 overall, finishing at 8th. Best QB, Tua in there at number 9, which is interesting based on where he performed for Offensive Player of the Year. But let's check out Tua's contract, as Carruthers has become a pretty good player. Tua, 1-year deal worth $20 million overall. He's down to an 82. Is this the final year that we see Tua Tagovailoa? It's probably the final year that we see him in Miami. I assume he's probably going to go elsewhere unless a team decides to maybe give him a 1-year deal at best. Does he go somewhere else? Does he retire? Well, it doesn't look like he retired. DK Metcalf retired with the Jets. Tua is still going to stick around. I wonder how long he plays, but I wonder if he actually sticks in Miami. Now I can actually tell you guys. What do you think now? Does he return? Does he go somewhere else? Let me know down in the comment section below. But you got to say it now because, like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you cheat. Some people are going to. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm going to say no. I think he's gone. But I hope he's still here. He's gone. Oh, and they finally have a good receiver. Earl Hightower got up to superstar dev. He finally got it. Maybe he's had it. I'm not exactly sure. But Tua's off the Dolphins. There's going to be a point where he doesn't even start anymore on a team. And I wonder if that's going to be this team. Or in, like, this year, I should say. So he's going to be down to, like, a 70-something overall. I mean, look at Kyler Murray, 38 years old. Joe Burrow, 38 years old. Justin Herbert, 37 years old. And Tua Tagovailoa is on the Steelers. Down to a 78 overall. He still has star development. Is he even going to start on this team? He's kind of bounced all over the place. But I wonder. It's a one-year deal. It's only worth $5.68 million. That's backup money. Is Tua going to be a starter for them? No, it's Cody Rodgers. This might be the last time we see Tua start an NFL game. Was for the Dolphins, and it feels right. I mean, I guess let's see if he plays. Injuries are on. Injuries could happen. Maybe the starting QB goes down, and it's Tua's time once again. Although, I doubt it. So this team would make the playoffs. Went 7-9, but it's not about this team. It's about, did Tua play at all? Probably threw a few passes. Actually, 2 passes. This is basically his stat line from his first ever NFL game. 2 for 2. I think he threw for 9 yards. In real life, this was 13. I think it's all over for Tua, man. He's going to regress down to like a 74 now. He's 38. He might just retire. I mean, we don't even have to check any of his numbers because I can tell you for certain that Tua did not finish in the MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, we checked his numbers, but you know what I mean. We don't have to check to see if he won anything because he didn't. He's unaware of the Steelers, AFC North, and he's sticking around. Tua is not done quite yet. My goodness. Well, we'll simulate to the next season. See who signs Tua. He still could start. It might not be on the Steelers, but he could start somewhere. Let's see if that happens. He's not done yet. Come on, Tua. Stick it through. Stick it through. Is that an expression? That's not a thing. What if he's back in Miami? That'd be electric. He's not. What team is Tua Tagovailoa on? It's not going to be the Steelers again. I found that highly unlikely. As Tua is now in Buffalo. He still has star development. They gave him number 12. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's so crazy because I think Jim Kelly was number 12, right? Was Jim Kelly number 12? Yeah, he was. They gave Tua Jim Kelly's 12. I mean, that's big expectations. What is his contract? 1-year deal worth $2.58 million. Doesn't really need to be said, but that's backup money. But he's going to be the starter. Tua is going to start for the Buffalo Bills. A team in our very own division. After spending most of his career in Miami, 10 plus years, Tua now goes to a direct division rival. Could be a very good team. Does Tua lead the Bills to the promised land? I doubt it. Hopefully not, but maybe. This team wouldn't make the playoffs, which means the Bills could have. And they did. They won the division. Oh no. If Tua wins the Super Bowl with the Bills after barely making the playoffs at all during his entire career, and he actually split time. Josh Mitchell had some time. I wonder if Tua got injured at all. He's down to a 75 overall. He's 38. He's got star dev. He's got 80 throw power. Short accuracy is still pretty good. But, I mean, he was good for a 38-year-old. Not everyone can be Tom Brady. But not too bad. Did he do anything as a rusher? 2 touchdowns. Love to see it. Now, I highly doubt he's going to finish in any type of MVP conversation. Don't see any Bills in there. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Tua at number 9 with the Bills. Offensive Rookie of the Year is not what I want. I want Best QB as Tua finishes at number 7. Life is crazy right now. What are the odds that Tua actually does anything? Where are the Bills? The Bills have the Browns in the playoffs. That's a tough matchup for them. I think the Bills are almost guaranteed to lose just based on how dominant the Browns can be in the playoffs, but maybe not. Oh, they beat them 34-0. It's a blowout. And the Bills now have the Jags, a team that I don't really think is very good in simulation. And I'm sure now because I said that, I got to be wrong twice in a row. And I'm sure they've won. Of course they did. 24-17. It was a touchdown that could potentially end Tua's career. Will he retire at 39 years old after making the playoffs with the Bills, winning a playoff game with the Bills, which he never did in Miami even once? And Tua Tagovailoa has not retired. He's still going. Oh my goodness, Tua. It's almost 1 in the morning. Retire. Where in the world is Tua Tagovailoa now? Not in Miami. He's going to be like a 72 overall. Maybe. Oh, it's even worse than that. Where's Tua? Did I go past him? He's not going to be in the 60s. He had to have retired. Unless I just missed his name. No, I didn't miss his name. Why did it not show for retirement? He was in the AFC South. Let me check the transactions log. Or did I say South? He was in the AFC East with the Bills. Did I click South by accident? I guess maybe... No, I mean... None of the retirements are showing. I guess Tua had to have retired. And the 2037 class had only Pat Moss. Check out NFL records maybe. Did Tua get in the conversation? I mean, no, he's not in here for one of the best QBs ever. Herbert with the Broncos. Lawrence with the Saints. He's not in there for passing yards. Definitely not for passing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson is, though. Ties Russell Wilson all time with 505. But I guess that's going to do it. As Tua, without question, retired. Hate to see it, but he was also like 39 years old. I don't know why it didn't show in the transaction log. I must have clicked the wrong thing. But he is certainly out of the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa retires. Yep, look through every QB. He is done. So, I am done as well. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. See me high step to the end zone. Get out of here. Watch another video, please.